Welcome to episode 21 of Basically a Therapist, but without the degree. I'm Lauren Larson, and I'm so excited that you're here. So, a few weeks ago, I talked about 10 things that I would tell the 20-something year olds just to help them navigate the decade of the 20s. And I'm obviously back with 10 more things. And this isn't the end all be all in this list. It's just another top 10 that came to me. And so I wanted to share this because I feel like these are foundational pieces to, just being a successful human. And, the earlier that we learn these lessons, the earlier that we grasp these concepts, I think the more successful we'll be and the better our personal well-being will be and our relationships with others. And so I know that this resonates with a lot of people who are navigating the 20s. It's an interesting phase of life because you are coming out of being a teenager, living with your parents most likely, and being launched into adulthood. And this whole decade can feel like a roller coaster, right? Like it can feel like you're going up and down. There's twists and turns. You're all over the place. And so it's a pivotal decade because you are just transitioning, and it's just like a curve. It's like a learning curve like no other. And so, you're navigating relationships, you're making career choices, you are, figuring out your finances, you're possibly buying a home and, your own things and establishing your own life, maybe getting married, maybe having kids. And so there's a lot happening in the 20s. There's a lot that can happen in the 20s. And so, if you're feeling a bit lost, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling uncertain, I want you to know that that's normal and you're not alone. Like you are not alone. The 20s can be daunting, especially early 20s, especially. And so, we're going to talk about some of the challenges and just lessons and just insights that I have for the 20-something year olds because it's such a critical, pivotal time in life. And if I can help in any sort of way, I will. And I just wish that I had done some of these things in my 20s. So let's dive in. So, number one, find a person who is wiser and more mature than you. This can go so far. This can help you really just start out adulthood on the right foot. When you see somebody that is living the life that you want, that is making the right decisions, that is everything that you're aspiring to be career-wise, spiritually, mentally, physically, all of those things, find somebody that can just take you under their wing and help you see things differently, help you look at things in a specific way, and just to really invest in you and to push you to be a better person. I think the earlier that we start these mentorships, the better that it can be, the more successful that we can be. And so don't just pick anyone, pick somebody that is living a life in such a way that you would want yours to look similar. The good thing about a mentor is that they have most likely gone through situations that you are going to experience. They've most likely have figured out the best way or a good way to get through it. And so if you don't have to recreate the wheel, why do so, right? So surrounding yourself with people that are just wiser and more mature, that have been where we've been, that have been where we're going, that's important. We need the support, and there's nothing wrong with that. If we can avoid making some mistakes in our life by being carried by somebody else who has gone before us and made those mistakes, we can avoid so much heartache and pain and just issues in general if we would learn from the mistakes of others. So find a good mentor. And if you're not sure, reach out and we can chat about it. Number two, Don't be afraid to go after things, and don't be afraid to try things. Don't let fear get in your way. Don't let fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of whatever get in the way and stop you from trying and putting yourself out there. The decade of the 20s is when you are supposed to be learning and you're making mistakes and you're figuring life out. So try things. Don't be afraid. Don't put yourself into a box. Be open-minded. That's one thing I feel like with this generation. Like I feel like this generation has a little bit more of an open mindset to career opportunities. There's people making a ton of money off of YouTube and TikTok and Instagram and all of these things that we didn't have when I was that age. And so I feel like there are more opportunities, and multiple streams of income is one of the wisest things that you can do. And sometimes it requires putting yourself out there, putting out your creativity, putting out your passion, putting out your whatever. And don't be afraid of it, because you're going to find the right people. You may not find the masses, but you will find the right people. Number 3, don't sweat the small stuff. Remember that our permanent home is in heaven. And so if it won't matter there, it shouldn't matter here. I've talked about this before, but there needs to be this mindset of us being heavenly focused. Like we are focused on heaven. We are focused on God, and we're focused on bringing people to God. And there's a lot of things that we get caught up in, like a lot of small things, trivial things that are not going to matter. When things aren't going our way, or, when things are falling apart, or whatever it is, like, is it going to matter in heaven? And I want you to start asking yourself that. Is it going to matter in heaven? Is this going to change my life? There's going to be a lot that tries to steal your joy, that tries to distract you, upset you, etc. And I want you to think further than the right now. I want you to think further than tomorrow, next week. And I want you to think long term, years, eternity. Like, think about eternity. Is somebody cutting you off when you're driving going to matter in heaven? No. So don't let it upset you now. Like, be picky with where you put your energy. The Bible says to fix our gaze on heaven. And so if we have our gaze to heaven, if we have this heavenly mindset, this heavenly focus, the stuff happening around us isn't going to matter. It's not going to have a big impact, right? Number 4, despite what this world tells you, having sex is a really big deal. And it shouldn't be something that you do with anyone. Like, it is a sacred thing. I know that our culture has desensitized us, and it's desensitized sex into making it seem like it's nothing, like it doesn't mean anything. And that, you should have it with whomever you want, how often you want, wherever you want. And that's a lie from the enemy. The person that you give yourself to sexually stays with you, like forever. Like, there's pieces of them with you. And so, even if you're no longer together, like mentally and emotionally, you're still going to have that with you. The Bible says to remain pure until marriage. And there's a reason for that. God's plan for us, God's plan for our marriages is for them to be sacred, for them to imitate his relationship with us. It's pure, it's sacred. And, his plan for marriage is that sex is between a man and a woman, a husband and a wife. And so I would encourage you to honor your future spouse by giving that gift to them. Keep your body pure, keep your mind pure from images and movies and things like that. These things stick with you and can seep into your marriage and your expectations and cause issues. Remain pure for yourself. Remain pure for your future spouse. Like, they deserve that. It's a big deal. Number 6, not everything that happens to you is about you. And the sooner that you learn this, the freer you will be. Trust me, I promise you. When you realize that there are things happening around you, there are people that interact with you, there are people that talk to you, treat you, look at you, think about you in a specific light that has nothing to do with you. I will say this until I'm blue in the face. We are all out here perceiving the world and other people through our lens that has been shaped by so many different experiences that had nothing to do with you. And there are going to be times where people will see you through their lens, through their filter. And they are going to have a story created about you that fits their narrative. They're going to have opinions about you that may not be true, that may not be right. But it's not about you. It's about them. Invest in yourself mentally, spiritually, physically, financially. You are worth the investment. Take the course. Go to school if you feel called. Put time and energy into those areas of your life. This kind of goes along with the mentorship thing, but if you go to a course, or if you get coaching, or if you go to church and just invest into yourself. Invest into your future financially and start as young as possible. Again, like I said earlier, we are thinking further than the right now. We are thinking further than tomorrow. We're thinking further than next week. We're thinking years. We're thinking long term. It's not just about right now. We don't need to get so caught up into the future where that's all that we're thinking about and we're obsessed with it and whatever. There's a good balance. Like, yes, live in the now, but prepare for the future. Be smart. Be wise. Take care of your body. The younger that you start this, the better off it'll be, because it gets harder the older you get. Trust me. Spiritually, daily, regularly, all the time, invest in yourself spiritually. Read your Bible, pray, go to church, get into a community of like-minded people that are growing with God, that are pushing you towards God. Surround yourself. Mentally, listen, if you need to go to therapy, if you need a counselor, if you need whatever, invest in yourself. We all have stuff, but it's worth the investment. More than the newest phone, more than that clothes, more than the car, more than all of that stuff. Your well-being, your whole well-being mentally, physically, spiritually, is so important to invest in. I promise you, these are important things to do. The next one. No one can make you feel anything without your permission. And that is so empowering because we have full and complete control over our thoughts, our words, our opinions, our actions, all of it. We have full control over that. And that's a powerful place to be. And the sooner that you realize that nobody can make you feel anything, it goes back to last week's episode about personal accountability. You are responsible, you are accountable for your actions, your behaviors, your thoughts, your feelings, your opinions, your beliefs, your whatever. You are the sole owner of that. Nobody can reach inside you and push a button and say, I want you to feel mad. I want you to feel sad. I want you to feel offended. I want you to feel this. Nobody has that access to you besides you. And that is so powerful. Don't give away that power to other people. Remove the phrase, you made me feel. There's no truth behind it. Nobody can make you feel anything. There is something in you that might be triggered by what happened or what was said, but they didn't make you feel that way. It came up for you. And that's how you can respond to things. This is what's coming up for me when this happened. Or I'm dealing with this right now. This is what I'm feeling and thinking when this happened. You're taking full and complete ownership. Nobody can make you feel anything. Number 8, don't go into debt. Don't go into debt. It ain't worth it. Don't get a credit card. I know that there's going to be a lot of people that tell you that it's important, but I'm one of the people, and I don't care. If I get hate over this, I genuinely could not care less. Don't get a credit card, especially at your young age. Wait and wait and wait. I know there's a lot of people that put importance on the points and the miles and the whatever, but wait till you're stable enough. If you're going to do that, wait till you're stable enough to be able to pay it off every month. But don't go into debt where you cannot get yourself out of it. It is not worth it. There should be a legal age limit on credit cards that is older than 18. I got a credit card at 18 years old and I rang that thing up. It's crazy. And so my paychecks were going to paying off the credit card debt. Pay cash for as much as you possibly can. There's so much freedom in that. Don't pay interest. Don't charge something and pay interest on clothes or shoes or purses or stuff like that that doesn't matter. That's not going to matter in heaven. Be smart with your money right now. Be so smart. Budget. Don't go into debt. Don't get credit cards anytime soon. Number 9, go to God first. With every question, in every situation that you face, for every piece of advice that you need, go to God first. Because it's a quick answer, we tend to go to people first for advice. Seeking their wisdom on how to handle a situation or what to say or what to do. But God should be your first go-to. He has all of the answers. He has the best ideas and the best solutions. So I encourage you to lean into him. And that's not to say to isolate yourself from community, but before you reach out to them, go to God and sit with him. See what he says about it first before it gets tainted with the advice of humans. Our wisdom is like nothing compared to the wisdom of God. And so if you want to make the right choices, if you want the best advice, if you want clear direction on where to go and what to do, seek God first in everything. You can surround yourself with a wise council of people, but they are secondary to God. Always. Go to God first. Lastly, take your time and don't rush things. Relationships, marriage, children, large purchases like buying a car or a home. Don't be in a hurry to have it all. Don't be in a hurry to have it all together. Don't be in a hurry to have it figured out. If your friends are married, they're having kids, whatever, and you're just chilling right now, you're okay. Your life isn't their life, and their life isn't your life. And it isn't supposed to be like theirs. You are set apart for something different. There's a different plan on your life. There's a different purpose on your life. And so don't be in a rush. Don't be in a rush. Enjoy where God has you right now. Let God guide you and lead you. And be content. Trust that He has you exactly where you need to be for the right time and the right purpose and the right plan. His ways are the best ways. Because when you're rushing things, like God's not in a hurry, right? Like He's not in a hurry. And so we shouldn't be either. We get to rest in the knowing that our God has it all figured out for us. And we wait on Him. That's not to say we don't do the work. That's not to say we don't put ourselves out there when the time is right. But we don't have to worry about missing it because God's got it figured out. His timeline is perfect. Don't rush. Enjoy your season. I hope that this was helpful for you. I hope that this encourages the 20-something-year-olds. I hope that this kind of helps you have a different view of this decade that you're in, whether you're just starting it, you're in the middle of it, or you're ending it. But to be honest, these are principles and lessons that can be used in any season of life, any age, any decade. And so I hope that there was something that you found helpful in this. Thank you so much for being here. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for me. Like and share this episode. Help me get this out into people that need to hear it. There are people that are looking for hope. There are people that are looking for encouragement. There are people that are looking for peace. And I just want to be somebody that can help in whatever small or big way that I can. And I can't do that without you. So thank you for liking and sharing and subscribing. It means the world to me. And I'll see you next week. Bye. Yeah.